Dr. Smith, physical therapist here, and today I'm going to be putting together the HulkFit Power Rack. Now, if you ordered this, basically these are the only instructions that you get. You get a diagram of the rack, and then you get all of this on the back. Tells you how much hardware you should have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around, show you how I organize the hardware, and then get right on to building the rack, show you how I did it, so hopefully it's easier for you in case you're having any trouble with these instructions, and hopefully I'll be able to squat in my garage. Sorry for the mess here. We actually just moved into this house and shit's everywhere, but at least we'll be able to squat. So thanks for watching. Please like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any lifting questions, comment below, or any questions in general, rehab, whatever you want to see, let me know. Thank you for watching, and we'll get right into the video. All right, so here's our instructions. Here's all the hardware laid out. I just laid this all out. It comes in a bag. It's all together, but it's better to lay it all out. It tells you the quantity, number of each. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set up the left side of the rack. And what I'm gonna use for that is 2 of these to set up the left side, and the other 2 for the right. I'll show you what's worked for me, and let's get right into that. So for the first step of this, I'm gonna be setting up the left side of the rack. We know it's the left side because we have the hooks here. When they're this way, they're out, and then also we have that hole in the back for the weights. So we know this is the left side of the rack. We're gonna be connecting this to it. When you connect this side, make sure your numbers are facing forward. You want the numbers facing towards you. So the way I'm gonna connect this is I'm actually gonna put it back on its side, and I'm gonna be using the carriage bolt. So it came with some tools as well. These are, it didn't come with these, but I'm just using these. I'm not using them right now, but if I have to, I would use it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually open up this carriage bolt. There we go. I'm actually gonna remove the carriage because it's not gonna fit. And this is what's worked for me. If you don't feel like doing this because you feel it's not right, you can do whatever you want. I really don't care. But this is what I'm doing, and we're gonna see how it holds up. So I'm gonna put it through this, and then we're gonna connect to the other side here. One, and then we'll connect the other one. The washer's back on, and then we'll just bolt it back up. And that's why I have this. It came with tools as well, which you saw in the box, but I just trust this a little bit more. And when we go to the other side, we can see that it's pretty bolted in there. We'll do the other one, and we'll stand it up. And we can see that it's pretty secure, not really turning much more on either one. And again, when we check the bolts, pretty flush. So what we're gonna do this side is actually gonna stand this up. And now that it's standing up, we're gonna get on to the next step. So we have the left side set up. For the right side, same thing. Make sure these are pointed out, except when you're connecting it, you want it like this. That in the back for the weights. And again, you have these out of the carriage, you put them through, tighten them, and again, always make sure your numbers are in the front, and you want the lower numbered numbers for the bottom part of the rack, so don't make that mistake. All right, so we have a left part that's standing and a right part that's standing. Number 23 at the bottom, number 23 at the bottom, bolted and secured. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get this piece, or these 2 pieces, I'm sorry, and a bolt. And what we're gonna do with this, if we look at the instructions, sorry about that there, and this is upside down, we can see that there's a plate on the outside, goes through, connects into here. So we wanna make sure we have that plate on the outside once we get over here. So put the plate first, get it through the plate, put this through here. So we can see we have the plate here, the bolts through the plate, and the bolts through the peg here. So that's the next part that you want to do, and you'll want to do that on both sides. So now we have the plate, the peg, the bolt, plate, peg, bolt. So we'll put the other bolt through now as well. All right. And on the other side. So now that we have both screws through the plate, the peg, what we're going to do is then connect this piece here. I don't think it matters which way it goes. It could be wrong, but I really don't think it matters. And we'll connect this right here, and you can use one of these tools, or I'm just using pliers, or if you have a socket wrench or a drill, probably much faster that way. So you'll notice here before I bolt it down, it's pretty flush. You may have to flip it upside down. Move the squat rack around a little bit just to make sure you get each side nice and flush. So now that the back part's done, I'm actually gonna focus on connecting this part here. I'll focus on securing stuff later, just because I wanna make this video faster. So we put this in, again, make sure your 7's here, and then we're gonna use this bolt here. You should have 2 of these. Sorry, it's from ripping my hand earlier working out, but what we're then gonna do is we're gonna push this one through here and secure it at the back. And we'll do that on the other side as well. Okay, so one issue I'm having, it looks like some jackass bent this part. So we're gonna have to actually hammer that out to connect it because it won't fit otherwise. So let me fix that. All right, so I was able to get it to fit. I know it was fucked up, probably a machine design. I used pliers and actually hit it with a brick a little bit, but it was able to fit. So if yours isn't fitting or it's fucked up here, go ahead, mess around with it a little bit. So, I mean, from what I read online, I'm not really surprised about that part, but don't give up, just bend it, fuck with it, fix it. Also for these, I gotta mention, besides this one, you're gonna have these little side ones as well. So you're gonna put one on each side along with the main one there. So I'm gonna edit this part in right here. When you're actually connecting the pull-up bar, make sure you don't forget this piece. I actually made that mistake, but hopefully in this video you won't. Don't forget this outside piece. I know it doesn't show it on that side in the instructions, which is why I messed up, but make sure you have this outside piece on the left side and you have the outside piece on the right side. And then we'll tighten this and get on to the next part. All right, so we're at this phase now. What we're gonna do next is, you'll see these little things. What I actually did was slide this on to the bottom, so you can just put this on here, push down, and actually you can just flip it upside down. Doesn't really matter. What you're then gonna do with this is put it on these, just like that. So it's connected, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, does it really matter? Nope, but we'll just connect it. So it's like that, turn it upside down, get it there. The reason I put this on the bottom is just so plates don't hit this. I believe you can put it however you want though, as it's just a plate holder. So next thing we're gonna do is put these triangle pieces on both sides, reinforce all of this by connecting both sides. So we'll do this on both sides and then add the J-hooks and tighten everything. All right, so we can see everything's connected besides the J-hooks. Now we're gonna go ahead and fasten everything. For these, the way I like to fasten them is just like I have here set up. You're gonna hold it here on this side with the tool it came with, and obviously the Allen wrench it came with, and you're gonna hold this and twist. This will get this pretty secure. Then you're gonna use the same thing, and I'll show it in the next part of the video to tighten the other pieces. So the way I like to securely tighten the other bolts is the tools it came with, one on this side, one on the other side, go opposite ways, get it nice and tight. Obviously it's faster with a drill. If you don't have one, get it as tight as you can with your hands.
All right, so one thing I did do here that I'm gonna re-emphasize is actually I flipped it forward once it was built, just to make sure everything's tight, and the way we're fastening it is here. It's just in case you couldn't reach the high pull-up bar or this back angle from the ground. Just one more pass through before we stand it up. Just make sure everything's tight and secure. And again, this is the biggest pain in the ass, but if you have a drill, obviously it'd be faster, but I'm building this one by hand. All right, so we'll get right to the final product soon. All right, so we can see that everything is securely fastened. Make sure it's super secure. What we're gonna do next is we're then gonna add the J-hooks. So for these J-hooks, obviously, the outside always goes to that side, so this is the right J-hook. Make sure it fits over the screws, so you don't mess that up. Perfect. Note when putting on the J-hooks, again, this was the fucked up side, but what you're gonna do when putting the J-hooks, if you push it all the way through, it's not gonna go down. You kind of have to push it like 80%. Once you push it 80%, it then goes over. So if you're not getting it at first, just pull it back a little bit. So really the only problems I had besides the hardware were the J-hooks. This little area was fucked up here, but we'll test it out now. So it's put together behind me. It's secure as you just saw. You saw me add the J-hook as well. What I did last night is put it all together, tightened most of it. This morning, I actually pulled it down so the pull-up bar was on the floor but supported, so I could tighten everything kind of this way so I wasn't reaching up, hurting my shoulder. That's just a physical therapist in me, just to make sure I was doing it safely. Everything's all tight, it's back up, so we're gonna go try the pull-up bar. This whole setup probably is only gonna take about an hour if you have a drill. If you don't have a drill and you're using these like I did, it's gonna take about 1 to 3 hours, but we're gonna go try it out and then I'll give you my full review. Thank you for watching me build this. If you have any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, comment below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. All right, so pull-up wise, actually does feel pretty secure. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna add plates on the back. I don't know if you guys can see, I don't have any plates back there, just the plate holders. I'll probably add plates for security. But overall, at 210 pounds right now, it's pretty solid. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add the weights. All right, so we have about 175 pounds on there, but basically all the weights I have available right now on here due to quarantine. I ordered more weights, but they're not here yet. So overall, it's a decent rack. The issues I had were with these, just a pain in the ass. If you don't have a drill or anything like that, it takes some time, but you know it's pretty tight once you do it. And I was able to do pull-ups and squat, putting it together with these. My only complaints are, as you saw here, this was fucked up. I had to hit it with a brick and a hammer to fix it. And then the J-hooks, if you put them in all the way, they don't work. And you kind of have to mess with your J-hook a little bit. But overall, pretty solid investment, solid product, and hopefully this video was helpful.